We are live. There is still a long stretch to finish and close this first hour.
We have more information and we are going to talk about a development, AMA, that has gained notoriety in recent years, which is artificial intelligence. This development that tries to imitate the behavior, intelligence, reasoning of the human being and that is applied to different spheres of life. Even today there are household appliances, there is machinery that has artificial intelligence. But who is going to give us more details about it is Diego Cry, who is a technology teacher. Diego, how are you doing? Good morning, Amelia and Facundo greet you. How are you?
Hi, how are things? Good morning, Amelia. Good morning, Facundo. Nice to be with you.
It is also a pleasure for us to chat with you, Diego. Well, come clean. What is artificial intelligence and since when have you been working on its development?
Well, artificial intelligence is a name that has been around for 50 years. The subject has been worked on for a long time, but what we currently have is an evolution at a level that we could not have imagined, and apart from that, what is coming now, since November of last year, is the availability at a public and free level so that anyone can use what they want. It is called models of natural language processing, which is the possibility of chatting, conversing. Since I'm chatting with you, chatting with computers, and basically regarding the question, artificial intelligence is the generic name that is given to a set of technologies to data science, to everything that is computer science, within computer science, a specific area which is data management, and there are many areas such as, for example, deep learning, machine learning, which are machine learning, how computers can learn, something that at other times would have been unthinkable. Today it can occur.
Diego, where are the uses of this artificial intelligence, AI, as it is also known in technology jargon, most noticeable?
It has been used for a long time, but it was used by large corporations that had equipment, very large computers to process large volumes of information. In other words, that is being used. In other words, we can say it uses Mercado Libre to offer you different types of products. It is used by banks. It has been used for a long time. Now what we have is a language model available called ChatGPT, which we can access at any time and from any device, from a cell phone, from a computer, and for free.
So that's what changes everything.
And those who use it, well, they are using it in journalism, the graphic media are using it, everything that is people who process information for social networks, what they call community managers, who manage the social networks of businesses they drive. Well, and of course it is my specific area in education. We have as a super assistant available to both teachers and students, which brings a number of problems around good and bad. I mean, there are a lot of things that are being investigated and that's what
we're working on. There is also, Diego, perhaps a certain myth that artificial intelligence is going to be able to replace human beings, especially with regard to work. If we can equip, for example, machinery with artificial intelligence, it would be capable of performing human work. Is this possible? Do you think it is going towards that side of development? Or in truth also, many times the mind and human intelligence is irreplaceable in some matters?
Yeah, I think it's going that way. What is happening is very complex. That is why the companies that develop artificial intelligence systems are asking governments, UNESCO, the UN, they are asking for the regulation of this type of technology. That is, it is a very powerful technology. Keep in mind that since the Industrial Revolution, computers have replaced a lot of manual labor. Machines have replaced a lot of manual labor. Well, we did not imagine that we were going to develop computers that can replace our mental work. Now what mental work? Repetitive, the basic, that is, the person who does a job that involves superior thinking, conscientious work, understanding a context, feeling, emotion. That itself, the human being will never be able to be replaced. But when we talk about jobs and jobs that are repetitive, basic, even if they are mental, that is in danger.
Did you talk about, thought?
I was thinking while you were relating this question of substitution, thinking about the human being, about what he does and about the capacity that our own computer has, so to speak, which occurs naturally. In this, thinking about the future. Do you really think that it will fully replace everything that has to do with research, including, putting together papers, putting together investigations that go beyond science or, at least, in that sense, and that encompasses that knowledge even more?
Look, at this moment there is a kind of war that is not between human beings and against artificial intelligence. It is between human beings who make use of artificial intelligence and those who do not. The one who uses it is like a super, for example, in my case, which is education. The one who makes use of artificial intelligence is a super teacher, right? A student who makes use of artificial intelligence becomes a super student because he has access to a number of information processing possibilities that were previously unimagined. So, based on that, there can be big changes. And centrally in what I told you at the beginning, which is that keyword, which is what is called natural language processing. We are talking about when you say create a paper, you say specifically, I want a diagnosis, I want to make the foundation, the general objectives, specific objectives, a theoretical framework, and it generates it in a way that is truly amazing. People who try this GPT chat are totally surprised because it is really something that we could not imagine a short time ago. So, yes, there are people that there is a possibility that this will change a lot. I'll tell you, for example, I was working on a project for a certain part. I'm going to use it. When I go to use it, it gives me a very good response. But I said, I think I can do better. And in the end I ended up doing it myself. But that happened to me. But there is another capable person who could not elaborate something better and will end up leaving what the GPT chat said. There, a lot depends on people's capacities to elaborate and produce.
Well, it is also very useful for internal work. Not only in your question that has to do with teaching and technology, new communications. You said it today. Today the majority of professionals who work in the media and do community work, especially in political agencies or political corporations, for example, use it. And that has also advanced when it comes to communication more immediately.
Totally. You tell him, I want you to develop what is called a copy, right? A text that you put together with an image and you give it 4 or 5 parameters and it automatically generates something that is totally creative. Besides, you can guide it. Or you can tell HGPT to behave like a digital marketing specialist, and based on that I want you to write me a text that will be like the caption of an image, and that I want that text to be oriented to an audience young and to help me sell a certain type of product. And it automatically gives me generate a text that is extremely creative. You say, no, it can't be, this is incredible. And well, that's simply copying and pasting on an Instagram, on a Facebook or on a TikTok, and you already have a publication many times superior to what a person who does not have all the creativity necessary for such an important and complex task would have done. It's the community manager, right? That you need to be very creative to reach people today.
As it is, the last one, task, right? I say, thinking about the GPT chat. A good use of that chat, of course, expands knowledge. Misuse can also harm thinking about this, right? That sometimes technology or technological tools sometimes lead us to make mistakes that human beings would not make because they would think about it more than once.
Completely. Not only errors, but it can also bring ethical problems. In other words, for example, using this to do homework for a school without informing the teacher that it was used. Let's say,
clear, everything to your measure, clear. The teacher is very good when the teacher is informed that this exists, right?
That is a great topic. And he talks with his students, about the availability of this tool and how to use it ethically.
That is something that is very important, isn't it?
Because if it is left alone in the power of the student, many times the first thing they think about is the possibilities that this gives them to cheat. And that's not good. On the other hand, regarding the problems, it is the fact that if this is used all the time, it can cause you to lose your problem-solving capabilities.
What is called superior thought, right?
Higher thinking abilities. Problem-solving diminishes your creative abilities because you delegate them entirely to the machine.
What is called analytical thinking, strategic thinking. Those kinds of things have to be worked on a lot.
That is why what you are doing is fundamental to me. What I am trying to do with social networks, which is to inform that people know that this technology exists, that it is available to everyone, that it is free, and that let's all try to use it for good, because those who designed it have an idea that this can bring many benefits to humanity.
Many benefits to humanity. And on that side, it is what we have to focus on.
Thanks, Diego. A pleasure. Very kind.
A pleasure for me, and greetings to all the audience. Bye-bye.
Cut. So far, then, as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, we focus again on the area of the province of Chaco. We're going inside, Ame.
Let's see what